Hi, everybody, and welcome to Life Creates Art. I'm Shelly, and we are here in Van Nuys, California, little suburb of Los Angeles, having a great weekend. And today's interview is with Dennis Weber of Ruthless Designs, and we're going to have a whole lot of fun talking about getting a business going. And what do you think? Getting a business going, and it will work. And talking about just persisting and all of that in your art. So very excited to bring this to you, and have a good time. See you later. Dennis, thank you so much for having me in your home.
It's great to have you here, Shelly.
We're so happy to be here. We are in Van Nuys, California, and I lived here for 8 years, and it's a really cool place to be. But Dennis and I got to know each other through C. Sanders Emblems. It was a company that's a promotional company, mostly did lapel pins and patches and lanyards and things like that. I was in sales. What's that now?
I said doohickeys and
doohickeys, yeah, exactly.
You name it.
Yeah, so I got to know Dennis's art when I was working there, and just phenomenal. I mean, he knows even then that I had an incredible amount of respect for him. He's blushing. So I was very excited when Dennis said that he would agree to do an interview, because you don't work at C. Sanders anymore.
No,
you are on your own. You are Ruthless Designs.
I'm trying to make that shoot to the stars.
Okay,
trying to make
good.
it happen.
Good, because you deserve it. Now
Thank you.
Tell me about Ruthless Designs and what you do and what you're growing into.
I started Ruthless because I got bored at C. Sanders making the same stuff all the time, because we had like stock images, you know how it was. It was like, well, I want a state shape of this with these words in a circle.
Yeah.
And so I was just doing that every day. It was just kind of getting boring and stale, stagnant. Okay. And so I made a new venture for myself to have a baby of Ruthless Designs. And
it's pretty awesome. So I've always known about Dennis that you have kind of a sort of an evil,
macabre,
dark,
is what it says,
macabre sort of thing, which I resonated with because I'd worked at a funeral home, and I've always been kind of attracted to that sort of thing.
1-800-autopsy.
Yeah, there you go. 1-800-autopsy.
We tag them, we bag
Hey guys. So tell me where that sort of stemmed from in your life.
I have no idea. I think just death is the only thing that's real these days to me. Yeah. And so I like skulls and evil stuff.
Yeah, and you had mentioned...
I'll save your editing. Yeah. I'll try to not curse.
You had mentioned Halloween. So what
things
did you do with Halloween?
My dad would get crazy and dress us up because we would have competitions at school. Oh. And so every year we would win because we would just do crazy stuff. And he would dress up too. I remember one year he came as the Predator. He had the whole get-up and everything with the laser on the head and all kinds of stuff.
Wow.
And so that was a good influence to being creative. Yeah. And then in school we had like guest art teachers, and I would just be engulfed by whatever they would teach us. And then going to high school, took every art class I was capable of. And then I went to ITT Tech and got screwed over.
Did you? Okay, well, I want to know. No. Let's back up a little bit, because I want to touch on what you just said, and then I want to talk about ITT Tech.
All right, that's not
so okay. Maybe we won't. So you started. When did your interest in art spark? Do you even know?
No. I have no idea.
Have you always been kind of sketching?
Probably gluing the necklace noodles. I don't know. As far back as I can remember, I've been scribbling papers.
And just taking as many art classes as you can.
Yeah, and I would see, my dad works in construction, so he would be sketching out schematics, if you will, not really, but perspective views of stuff. And so that interests me. I think those are up there with Skull's perspective views for me.
Yeah, well, that's a real talent to be able
I think
to do
it's because
that.
I'm a little overactive, and so that takes a lot of concentration to
Yeah, it
do
does.
that kind of stuff.
So it's very left brain stuff.
Yeah.
And then your skulls and how you design them are...
It's just blur your eyes and see
Yes.
what you can see.
So part of the reason why I wanted to interview Dennis is because he is doing Ruthless Designs. He's doing it on his own. We are actually in his bedroom / studio, and it's pretty amazing because he's got t-shirts. You do the...
I do t-shirts. It's a pain. Learning over the years.
Yeah.
It is a pain to do t-shirts, especially because it's a little small space.
Mm-hmm.
I'm strictly doing one color
Okay.
designs right now, but yeah, I'm capable of doing it here. I have my little heat press
And all of that.
It's all kind of crammed.
That's okay.
But we make do with what we got.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's the thing. I want to show also, we'll show a picture up of Dennis's business cards and things like that he's done, invitations.
Yeah, I do graphic design also, and whatever anyone can imagine packaging, I'd like to try to create whatever I can.
Good. Okay, so we're going to continue with this conversation, but I wanted to stop here and encourage you and say that, Dennis started out, making the noodle necklaces like we all did, and then had his interest in art, and he just kept expanding it and expanding it. And it's been a number of years you've been doing this, right?
Yeah.
And so getting started with your own little business is absolutely possible.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a lot of what?
It costs $26 at the city office. That's
Okay.
about it. Some elbow grease and dedication.
Yeah. And what would you say to somebody who's got their art and wants to do something with it, like t-shirt design or...
You don't even need to start a company. You can do it without, if you just have your name in it. I didn't want my name associated with it, so I had to go to the city route.
Okay.
And but if just stick to it, keep doing it,
okay,
and don't stop. What anyone else tells you, do it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing, don't give up. I tell you guys that all the time. Do not give up. I know you've been working on Ruthless Designs for a very, very long time. Yeah. You started this when we were working at C. Sanders, which has been, gosh, I was working there about 3 years ago. So don't, not giving up and persisting and continuing and
keep going. It's gonna be hard. You're gonna get tired and feel like you're gonna have to step away from it. Yeah, like you were saying.
Let me show you something that Dennis did. I'll show you up here on the screen.
Fade in.
So it's this image on his wall. You tell us about that.
It is a Grim Reaper, my forte. And I don't know. I drew a sketch in my sketchbook. I transferred it onto the computer, vectored it out, tweaked it a little, wasn't satisfied, stepped away again, printed it, redrew it, and then I put it on a projector and threw it on the wall and traced it very roughly.
Okay.
And then
so how long ago was that?
I don't know, 3 months ago, maybe.
3 months? Okay, so...
But it was a process of stepping away from it. I would stand over here or in that corner and just look at it for a while. Yeah. I would take a picture of it and draw on my phone. And
which is a great idea.
It's just little...
So you take a picture of your image?
Well, I have we're not sponsored by Samsung, but I have a little pen on my phone. So I have a little note drawing thing. So
you take a picture of the image
and then I'll draw on my phone, overlay drawing. Okay. Or take it into Photoshop would be a similar thing to do.
Just to sort of sketch it on there so you're not sketching it right on
so you're not, because I went
That's
over...
That's a great idea,
I
guys.
went over with like a red pencil or a blue pencil and it was just getting too crazy to keep erasing and cleaning up.
Well, what a great idea. Thank you for that tip.
Yeah,
for
Photoshop,
everybody.
take your tips and tricks, draw your picture, scan it,
Take a
trace
picture.
it,
Yeah.
redraw it until it's done. Redraw it. That's what drawing is, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Reworking your art until you're satisfied.
And going.
And you're probably never going to be satisfied.
No. I think as artists, we're never, because
there's something you can always do.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that it's always in us.
It's always just like, but that one little piece.
Yeah.
They're like, no, it looks fine. Let me have it.
Yeah, exactly. pulling stuff out, and that's the thing. I really should do a video on knowing when it's done, because
it's never done.
It's never done. But
that'll be the ending note.
When you have to sort of give it up, then
yeah.
Okay, so you do music also. You do music
sometimes
for yourself and things like that. Now, tell me, do you listen to music when you do your art?
I do.
Okay, and what sort of effect do you feel that has on your art?
It depends on what I'm feeling, what I'm drawing, the subject matter really, but then it also depends on my mood. Sometimes I'll put on some classical music and jam out to some piano or something like that.
Sure.
Or like jazz, little New Orleans.
Do you feel like that has an effect on your art?
I think it sometimes makes me a little more loose if I'm feeling whatever music I'm into, but most of the time it's just like heavy stuff, rocking out,
and that's fine. That's fine.
But I do find myself either scribbling or sketching to the beat of the song. Do you ever do that with your painting?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, moving and rocking and all of that.
Yeah,
so,
it helps. It definitely helps to get in the groove.
It does. It absolutely does. So you have this space, and I wanted to talk about it because Dennis and I were sharing that actually my husband in my office is smaller than his bedroom, and he has this incredible setup in here, a business being run, and
it's been a long time to get to this
well, yeah.
I think I've rearranged the room probably 10 times.
Have you? Well, that's the thing. You have to kind of keep remaking yourself, which is a life lesson too.
I still got plans to redo it again.
That's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome. But work with what you've got.
Yes.
I know that we were just having this conversation about how you go on YouTube and you see these artists and they,
immaculate, perfect setup. And
right. And their palettes are always clean. When they're not
filming, it's probably
like because artists tend to be a little.
We can set a scene. We can. Want to put some behind us?
Yeah, we definitely tend to be a little messy, but I want you to be real too.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to be in my channel, and trying to show that Dennis he's got not only his bed, but his big TV and all of his artwork and things that he's done. And he's just writing on the walls, which I love. Thank you.
That's right. Right on your walls too.
Yeah, be free. Well, when I do a series on mandalas and things like that, and sort of finding those quotes, I did that at the house when I first moved here.
Right on.
I had things written all over the ceiling so that when I opened up my eyes first thing in the morning.
It's an inspiration.
Yep. And so surround yourself with things that you love.
Yeah.
And
put a sticker on the cabinet.
Absolutely. So Ruthless Designs, you guys. Now, look it up. We're going to put everything down below. Do you have any advice that you want to give to artists in general? Just sort of general advice, people getting started with their art business and things like that.
Go to YouTube and don't go to school for art.
Okay.
Unless you're going to like an atelier or a really prestigious art school that, like Noman maybe.
Okay.
But like the trade schools, I wouldn't recommend.
Okay.
Because that's a money pit. But stick to.
I've heard that.
Yeah.
I've heard that. Now, on this note, I don't mean to interrupt you, but on this note, I have never really wanted to go to art school because I had a couple of artists that were going to art school. And of course, I think it's good to learn certain tools.
Oh yeah.
You know, there's certain tools that I think that I have taken years to sort of discover that I could have been doing many years ago. But they were always, my art instructor pointed to this and said that he didn't like this painting. And I thought,
Did they say why? With some constructive criticism to back it up, at least?
Constructive criticism, not just the,
I don't like that.
I don't like that.
I can't stand that.
And I didn't want to be that way. I wanted whatever my art was to come from in here and expand out.
Yeah.
And without judgments. And so I don't usually worry about what anybody thinks about my art.
Right.
Because I know that there are people that like it. And how about yours? I mean, you must find that with
I'm sure there's a lot of people that don't like my stuff.
Well, yeah.
Sometimes I'll show my mom and she'll just be like, oh my God, what are you doing? I'm like, but it's cool, right? And she's like, I guess. Because I do evil stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. But not just evil stuff.
No, it's pretty bad.
You do some
bad stuff. I'll show you.
Okay, well, we're gonna see. So you also manage your brother's tattoo business.
Yeah, my brother from another mother.
Okay.
If you guys are in New York.
Okay, what's the tattoo shop called?
He works at Bare Knuckle Tattoo in Watertown, New York.
Okay.
His name is Ricci.
Okay.
Goes by La Marca Muerte.
Okay. I think we have one of his cards there, right? Okay.
That one I did for him.
All right. Very good. So, getting back to, I apologize, we sort of made a left turn
That's
there.
All right.
To advice. So, you new business owners, artists, you said don't go to art school.
You don't have to. If you really want to learn like fine art or something, that would be something I would encourage getting an education on. But I'm sure you could do that on YouTube also. There's so much information on YouTube these days that you don't need to go to school, I don't think. Or there's like lynda.com. They have.
What is that?
It's like I believe it's a pay to use site, but they have like professional tutorials on anything you can imagine, I think.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Okay, so we'll check that out. Check it out. Okay,
I think that there's
what about for starting business and things like that?
I don't know.
No.
I'm still trying to figure it out.
Okay. All right, but just persistence.
But yeah, if you feel it in your loins, down in your loins, go for it. Run as fast as you can with it into the wall. And
what about social media and things like that?
I'm terrible at social media.
Are you? Okay.
I can do it for everyone else, but when it comes to stuff for me, I procrastinate and I don't do it.
Okay.
Like for C. Sanders, I had a whole year plan. And I tried to use that for myself.
And you haven't been able to? Okay.
I just don't.
So what? You just don't. So it's a decision that you're making.
It's a bad decision, but I'm just like, because it's not worthy to post yet.
Okay.
You know?
But see, now let's stop right here. What do you mean it's not worthy to post?
There's something that needs to be done to it, or it's not good enough, or I took too long to make it, and it's not relevant anymore.
Okay. I think you should just get your stuff out there.
Just I've been trying to start posting more behind, and I don't want to like share certain things. Yeah. Because I'll have my sketch and I'll want to put it out, and then I'll be like, someone's gonna steal it or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Because it's weird. I don't know. I'm a weirdo.
Okay.
Not like I have millions of followers. but followers don't matter either.
It will.
But I don't know.
You in things.
Yeah. I just feel weird sometimes posting certain things.
Yeah.
And then I'll want a perfect caption or something.
Sure. Yeah. It is
I like it to be like a nice fine meal, everything included together.
But not everything is always perfect.
No, not at all.
It's not always perfect. And this is the thing, is that what I've learned through doing this YouTube channel, and especially stretching with sketching, is that I have to be vulnerable. I'm vulnerable
that's
already.
That's a perfect word for it.
But I think artists are very vulnerable because this is their life. They're putting it into art. And they want people to like it, but you have to sort of go on that edge of not really caring what people think.
I think the vulnerability aspect is more of how would you say, like your whole feed to be as one cohesive, nice, pleasing to scroll through feed. I think that's where my vulnerability comes in. I don't care what anyone has to say about the stuff. I just want it all to look nice as you go through. Want you to keep going through it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it could be like, who's gonna give a shit about this one thing? You know? If that makes any sense.
Well, it does make sense. It does make sense. But I think that
it's like a art gallery scroll through. I want my page to be curated well.
Okay. Yeah.
There we go.
So, well, we have. I guess I don't necessarily need the big blank walls. Mm-hmm. I understand that there's a place.
It just has to be
that.
Pleasurable to go
walk
through. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So.
And I get hung up on that.
You do.
Yeah.
Okay. Time to unhook.
I know, right?
Unhang up.
Take your own advice.
Yeah. Time to unhang up, because we want Ruthless Designs to explode, and you to have to hire people to come and help you.
Mm-hmm. Eventually.
And then move into a bigger place and things like that. So
because probably not in California.
Well, yeah, right.
Kill me.
But ladies and gentlemen, Ruthless Designs, it's really, if you want something a little edgy, and Dennis will work with you and work with you one-on-one. And the reason I know that Dennis will work with you is because I had to take my customers' art ideas and I had to bring them into his office and say, so this is what they want. And then he was always really good about working with my customers and kind of giving them what they wanted, but staying true to himself too. So that's important as an artist to always stay true to yourself. But as far as design and things like that, something a little edgy, I'm telling you, Dennis is your man.
Twinkle.
And
put some glitter on there.
Yeah.
If you want it.
Sparkle, glitter.
I like that.
Tinkerbell. So I think you had to do a couple of Tinkerbells, didn't you? Yeah. A couple of Pooh Bears too.
Just a little, yeah.
But anyway, he is your man, and
thank you.
Work with what you've got, because like I said, he's got an awesome setup here, and be satisfied and be happy with it, because sometimes that's all you've got.
It's gonna take some work.
Yeah, it does.
It's not gonna be done in a day.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Could be, but it's probably gonna look like shit.
It's a process.
But it'll be fun along the way.
Absolutely. Life is a process. Where we are as far as our art is a process, and so we have to just keep going and keep persisting. If you're wanting to get your art out there, you're wanting to start a business, it takes a lot of grit and a lot of work to get yourself out there, but you can do it. And so I want to encourage anybody.
It takes a lot of vulnerability too.
A lot of vulnerability, yes, but you can do it, because you've got people like us that are here to cheer you on and say, you can do it. You can do it. And so want to thank Dennis again for welcoming us into
Thank you for having me on the show.
Oh, it's been wonderful to see you again, of course.
I know.
But this place is pretty awesome. I love the setup you have here. I
really,
really do. And I want to see your business expand and grow, and
I want to see your guys' business expand and grow.
Woohoo! But please like and subscribe, and share this with your friends.
Hit the notification bell.
Yes, hit the Thank you, Dennis. I forgot about that. Leave a comment. Hit the notification bell, and that way we release about 3, sometimes 4 videos a week, and so you're going to want to see those. And I thank you so much for joining me for our interview with Mr. Dennis Weber. Woohoo!
Thank you.
Thanks, you guys. Shelley signing out. Bye-bye.